Matty D is leaving Rackley Ware Racing, and is the NASCAR Drive for Diversity legal? Let's get into it. Coming up next. What's going on, everybody? Hope you're doing good today. All right, first things first, let's jump into Matty D. After careful consideration, I've decided not to return to Rackley Ware for the 2024 race season. I am very thankful to have been a part of the team's tremendous growth over these 2 years. We've shared many accomplishments together, such as the team's first win, making the playoffs, 6 top 10s in a row, and much more. I'm thankful for the opportunity Rackley Ware, Curtis, Willie, Chevrolet, and all of our partners have given me the past 2 years for believing in me. I'm looking forward to what the future holds. As of right now, I don't have any 2024 plans. I'm exploring all options in all series. Thank you to my dedicated and awesome fan base, as well as NASCAR and the whole industry, for being able to make a career out of what I love. Matty D. So he says he doesn't have anything lined up. That could be true, that could be not true, but it wouldn't be the first time he has jumped ship or quit a team or whatever you want to call it with no plans in place. He likes to gamble on himself. He likes to gamble on the talent that he has, so this wouldn't be the first time he did it. But there is also the other end of it, that he might already have something lined up and they just aren't ready to announce it yet, or if something is close to being lined up. So he can say he might not have plans, but they might have something close in the works. So we'll have to see what happens, and silly season is silly, so let's just throw it out there. What if he goes to the 31? I don't think he will, but yeah, throw it out there for spice. This from the Daily Wire, and Spencer Lindquist, blatantly illegal. NASCAR bans white applicants from diversity internship. NASCAR offers a paid diversity internship that excludes white people from applying on the basis of their race, a stipulation a constitutional lawyer tells the Daily Wire is blatantly illegal. The Race Car Giants Diversity Internship Program states that there are racial requirements that applicants must meet in order to be accepted. The first bullet point listed under the heading Program Requirements reads, be a member of one or more of the following races, ethnic minority classifications, Black or African American, American Indian or Alaska Native, Asian, Latino, or Hispanic, Native Hawaiian, or other Pacific Islander. David Bernstein, a professor at George Mason University's Anton Scalia School of Law, told the Daily Wire that NASCAR's racially discriminatory program is blatantly illegal, noting that it would seem to violate Title VIII of the 1866 Civil Rights Act. Having a 100% quota for minorities for a position is illegal, even under a very generous view of what is allowed, Bernstein said, adding a potential applicant who was unable to apply on the basis of his or her race would have a legal standing to sue the company. So normally don't address things like this because they get super political, and I try to stay away from politics because I like this to be a fun race channel. But 3 or 4, at least people have sent me this either from the live streams last night on Twitter or via DMs that this is a story. So I'm not going to bury my head in the sand and ignore it. So first things first, this program is the same program that put Kyle Larson, Eric Almirola, and Bubba Wallace in the Cup Series. So it has been effective at getting drivers from the grassroots level to the Cup Series. Now, whether or not it's legal or illegal, I am not a lawyer. I can't speak to that. The guy from George Mason, he is obviously a law professor. So going off what's in that article, I guess, letter of the law, it is illegal. That being said, if you're going to have a program to promote drivers, I don't think necessarily race is what you want to focus on. I think the biggest obstacle, I don't want to say something is bad and get rid of it. So obviously if it's racist or whatever, you have to get rid of it, right? So going forward, without giving a solution, is sort of pointless to make a video. So I think going forward, the best thing to do is remove the biggest obstacle to people to get into racing. Because if you do that, I think it'll take care of itself. The whole diversity issue or whatever will take care of itself if you take away the biggest obstacle. And that biggest obstacle is money. So if they just offered a program like they do now, which is like 6 or 7 late model cars, and then there's things you can work your way up to if you do good in the late model program. NASCAR takes 6 or 7 late model cars and gives a requirement where, you have to do good in school. You have to meet this requirement, that requirement, whatever, to young kids. And you have to be, like under 22 or something like that, or whatever, to get into this program. I think that would be a much more fair approach, because I feel like the biggest obstacle to this is money. And the biggest problem and the biggest turnoff for NASCAR fans somewhat is, you know, you might not have somebody that looks like you, but the other thing that's a turnoff is there are too many people that they can't relate to, because not a lot of people grow up very wealthy, and there are a lot of very wealthy kids driving in NASCAR. So if you had a program like this that removed the financial hurdle, you would have more blue-collar kids in the sport, or kids that came from blue-collar families in the sport, and it would make the people in the sport more relatable to everyone. So I think that's probably a fair point to make. The other point I wanted to make is that NASCAR is a massive corporation. The Drive for Diversity is less about how they feel about individual people's feelings and stuff like that. I don't feel like they are really necessarily behind this in the most honorable way of doing it, or whatever, however you want to say it. It's all about making money. And that's the same thing with all these corporations. You see in Pride Month that all these corporations put their Pride banner up, like they'll have their logo with the Pride logo colors associated with it, but then you'll see their social media accounts for Saudi Arabia and places like that, and those social media accounts won't have the rainbow colors on their logo. And there's a reason for that. This is usually all about money. Probably late 90s, early 2000s, corporations figured out that, hey, instead of just getting money from one group of people, what if we got money from all groups of people? So at the end of the day, I think this is just a corporate way of getting more money. So I'm not going to say that NASCAR is being noble in what they were trying to do or anything like that. So I thought I would throw that out there as well. All right, few odds and ends. Austin Cindric and Harrison Burton have switched crew chiefs going forward. So going forward, it'll be interesting to see how that happens. Is that going to be the pairing for next season, or will one of those drivers be moving on? Is that why they made the change in crew chiefs? All up for debate. All we know is they have changed crew chiefs, and that's all I got for you on this one. If you made it this far, feel free to subscribe down below. I would appreciate your subscription if you're already subscribed. I appreciate you guys as well. If you got a question, comment, or anything like that, leave it down in the comment section. Try to be respectful. I know these issues like this are touchy. And other than that, thanks for your time. Peace.